And then I don't know if you see it, but there is a little recording icon on the top left of your window. And I'm going to go enable grid view because that's what I'm going to do. All right, there's a lot of people in here. Cool. I think what's happening is that I think my microphone is somehow going into Patrick's speakers and his microphone is on. So I'm going to go. Can I mute people? What's that? Of course. Oh. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Ah, here we go. So I can go ahead and yes. Mute. There you go. All right. So I went ahead and muted his microphone. That's very handy. If you don't know how to do that, it is in that little person icon where you see the list of everybody. You just click there. You can just click the little drop down. You can just click them and the little mute microphone button there. So just start off with that. And then again, in the chat, I just threw in a link in there. Now, people have been asking me, like, how do you take attendance in Google Meet? And I think there are two options. One, when you're ready to start, you can, if you have a template for an attendance form, people have been doing that. I do have that template myself. So you can throw that there in the chat and students can fill that out. The other thing you can do is ask students to just write here as you are recording the session. And one of the things that you get at the end of the session that you've recorded is you'll get the session video itself. And it's only a video. It's a little different than the way Collaborate works. Whereas Collaborate, you kind of have that player that you can load your session, your recorded session into, and you see the chat like in real time and it happened and it kind of goes all together. Google Meet will give you a video of like what the main screen was at a given time. So whether you're presenting, whether you're showing your video. So right now it's just going to show my little cute picture. But then if I go and like, I'm going to turn my camera on. And so now you can see the fact, actually you guys can't really see, that my little one needs her lunch while I'm giving a training because, time waits for no one. But that recording, the video will be recorded there, like in there. So again, just kind of starting off, I mentioned before some initial thoughts and how you set it up. Another consideration, it's in that document, is about team classes. So I hung out with the government CT today. And so Adam Greenberg and Bethany kind of brought up that if you're a team taught class, even if both are teachers in Google Classroom, whichever teacher goes first into the session will be the one that has the controls. So if you're using Google Meet in a team taught class, you just kind of want to work it out with your teaching team as to whom will be in first so that they will have access to the controls. The other thing to keep in mind in Google Meet is that you do want to be the last one out. So you can leave your window open. I'm actually going to turn off grid view. It is dizzying with 50 people in here. So you do want to turn off grid view because it will, you do want to be the last one out because students can still stick around in Google Meet after you leave. So I believe they can't show up on their own without a teacher there, but they can certainly hang out after you leave. So I would leave that Meet open after your sessions, after your classes, and go ahead and do that. So, and both of us, yeah, everyone can present. So fun fact, you all can actually present in this training if you wanted to, and you could theoretically hijack it. Your students can do the same thing. So your students do have the ability to project as well. If they go to present now, and then even what's more bonkers is that if you are presenting something, the present window, the option does exist, and they could request to present. So just keep that in mind. Yes, I know. I also know. Yes, you can have more. Sure, go for it. All right. So the other real thing. So let me kind of get on what the other real big thing is. So I'm going to go share my whole screen right now. And my whole screen is a little bit of a mess. you will notice that there is a, so you'll notice that the screen will kind of tunnel. So that's not really what you want. What you will see besides my desktop is I went ahead and I preloaded any of the materials that I wanted to use today. And there's a weirdo trick in Google Slides where when you go ahead, so first thing I did, let me kind of backtrack a little bit, is that all of these things need to be in a separate window, right? So if you don't know about that, so now I've got like 2 tabs together. Well, Google Meet, if you just try and share a window, will not. All right, you want to roam around, have your bottle? Good, go for it. Google Meet, like, it's hard for it to see an individual. You can't actually see an individual tab in like a string of tabs. So you do have to click on the tab there and pull it down so that it shows up individually. The other trick here is when you are, if you want to show a slideshow, you hit present, and then at the bottom of your screen, of course, covered by this nonsense, is, yeah, I know, it's frustrating too, is this little button here that exits full screen mode. And what that does is it actually makes your Chrome tab window here just the slides. And you can even click on top of here, and then that'll make this little bar go away, right? And then you can use your arrow keys to present. So why you'd want to do this is, so let's say you had like a Google meeting set up here, and I know. And so who else is in my own little thing? Oh, it's me, and me. Got it. So when you see this in there, obviously it's presenting my whole screen here. But if you, oh, that's interesting. In the, that gives me an idea. So you will see like just this in the screen. It'll be like kind of big in here. So that'll kind of maximize it. And that was the instructions I was kind of given before in that document where, yeah, you can get the black space here. And then one of the things you can do is what's called like a split screen view. So you could take what you want to present and drag it all the way to the side. And then you'll see like this little shaded window show up, and you let go. And now it snaps there. And now here's my little meet. And now I've got my meet on this side and my presentation on this side. And so I can still see the kiddos. I can still see, I can still see that it's going on in the meeting itself. But I can go ahead and control the slides while still seeing the meeting. My suggestion was to kind of maximize your window here. Yeah, I know. Okay. Oh, baby girl. I know. Yeah, I know. You're just hungry and you don't want to really feed yourself, I guess. Is that what you want? Yes. Okay. So that was my suggestion there. So I want to present this slideshow, or I want to have this slide, which is the initial one. They're all individual things, right? So that is just one thing I wanted everybody to kind of keep in mind. So shout out to Nikita. We were talking about using split screen for this. All right, so I'm going to stop. Oh, how do I do the split screen? Okay, so let me minimize this a little bit. So if I got, this is my Google Meet over here, and let's say this is, I'll actually do it with Kahoot because Kahoot, it makes the most sense to do. All right, I'm getting there. Is like, this is what you want to present, right? So this is my Kahoot game screen. And you're gonna click this sort of area next to the tab, drag it to one side of the screen. And if you notice, when you do that, it won't actually go all the way off your screen, but you'll have like a shaded window here, and you'll let go. And now you want your meeting to be the other screen here. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you just want to be in the fun, right? That's why you're here. All right, so so now you can still use your Kahoot, and I'm going to show what that looks like in a second. All right, but then this is like your meeting screen here. Again, this is kind of a demo. This is another meet screen. And then this is that. So something I just noticed. maybe you've noticed this too. Let me go back to the, let's say you want to cheat the system, because we all like cheating the system. I love cheating the system. And if you don't know that about me, yes, I'm recorded by saying I want to cheat the system. So if when you go to present now, you will not see like a tab, like share your tab. However, if you go into your own Meet, right? I'm going to stop sharing this for a second. If you go into your own Meet here, you will notice that there's like a website, a URL that you can join it. You can actually join that from a personal Google account. So why you would want to do that? Well, so if I go to my little sample meeting over here, all right, so you'll notice that I've got like a little sample meeting here, but this is actually my personal Gmail being invited into a FCPS one, right? What you'll notice is that you have a Chrome tab as a share option, right? So this is the way to get it to, will it do it? So hang on, cancel. Let me see if I go to the YouTubes. Let me see. So it will allow you, I'm hoping, keep my fingers crossed, if you keep the tab that you want, like a YouTube video, yeah, you can go ahead and like share that YouTube there. So if you were in that meeting, it would be on your stuff, right? So if you look at my own personal YouTube subscriptions, good to everybody take a look. Yes, I'm into mechanical keyboards, and Lego, and CGP Grey, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so that's interesting. I know, I thought that was kind of fun. I don't know why you're crying about it. All right. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so that's a little bonus there where what? How do you make the screen bigger? So the way that you make a screen bigger is when you, so I'm going to share a window, and now I'm going to share, so one of the things about sharing the whole window, let me backtrack a little bit. I'm going to share the whole screen. Yes, share my whole screen, thank you. So when you're in me here, so now you see like my whole screen. You want to maximize your own tab, but when you share just a window, so the reason why I said for you guys to like minimize the window space so it's just like the slide that you want is because that will then maximize it in your Google Chrome your Meet session. Yeah, you can't grab my glasses. Let's not do that. No. I know you find that very funny, but let's not do that. All right. So I'm going to stop presenting. So I'm going to show you like Kahoot right now. So Kahoot I did as a side-by-side, and it's kind of, you are crazy today. You just want to grab my glasses so I can't see. I can't get everybody like done quickly. You are silly. All right, so I'm going to share my Kahoot screen. Right. So because the size in Google Meet sort of mimics the size of the window, but Kahoot is something where, yeah, I know. All right. So Kahoot is something in that it needs a little bit bigger of a screen to operate, but you should be able to see it within your session. There you go. All right. So if you were going to share Kahoot, that's what you'd want to do. Pear Deck is going to be a little bit different of a situation. All right. So I'll go ahead. I'll stop that. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to sharing Kahoot like this, where you kind of want it to be a little bit bigger? Cool. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. I know. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, you want to grab my glasses? That's what's going to be fun about this. All right. So the other thing I did want to demo that people are kind of asking about a little bit is Pear Deck. And so Pear Deck's going to be sort of the same. Now, Pear Deck's going to be a little bit different in that when you show Pear Deck off, Yeah, I know. When you show Pear Deck off, again, you're going to want to share it as a window, and you want it to, it's going to be its own little window. So it currently is on my screen. And then you're going to see the Pear Deck presentation. And you can then, yeah, I know. And then you can go ahead and open the teacher dashboard. I actually would also suggest, if you happen to have like either a secondary device or like an iPad or something, to run your Pear Deck session through that, like open the teacher dashboard there. You can actually go to joinpd.com on your own, enter the code, and when you log in as yourself, that's going to open up the teacher window. So that's just something else that you can do. You can still, yes, you can still, you know, so once you have the teacher dashboard going, you can still look at that and your Meet at the same time. It's just not as useful. Yeah, I mean, I think your teacher dashboard on another device probably makes the most sense, because otherwise it's gonna be a little bit of a mess as you're trying to like kind of manage all these tabs and everything. So, all right. So let's see. We covered recordings. I did want to bring up like where recordings go real quick. Where is my Google Drive? Have you seen my Google Drive? I'll just pull out this tab and I'm gonna go to Drive. Okay. So as far as where these meeting recordings are going, so when you go to My Drive, they should be showing up under a new folder called Meet Recordings. And so one of the things you'll notice is that these Meet recordings are gibberish. So you're going to want to, if you don't know how to do this already, click on this. This is a video file. And if you actually right click it and go to preview, it will allow you to see it like a video player. So this is what my session recording earlier looked like, right? So as you can see, it's got actually my video as the presenter, and it's got the what you presented there in the other window. So what you can do with these recordings, first off, I would certainly rename them. So if you right click again and you go to rename, you can change the name of the file. So that would be very useful. So if it's like period 2 world history on 423, that would be a good idea. The other thing that's actually super important on this one is you do want to do a shareable link to this before you try and share it on Google Classroom or on Blackboard. Otherwise, the kids won't be able to access it. So you can share this link with them. The other thing you can also do is download this and make it an unlisted video on your YouTube channel and add it to Classroom that way. Classroom actually has like a YouTube addition to it, so you can add stuff on your stream and add a YouTube link there. But yes. And then the other thing that I mentioned is that if your students are in the chat and they go here, you might want to do that for attendance purposes, because you also get a record of your transcript for the chat. So this is just like the timestamp of when they did it. And then you can see who it is and what they said, right? So that's where your meeting recordings are going. So I don't know if the Google Classroom ones look differently than this. I don't think so. I think that's what they do. So one other consideration, and I'm going to pull this off, is... Okay. I wish I understood why you get upset like just halfway through here. You're cool and then you're not. Okay. So when you're in your classroom, so this is now my like kind of demo classroom, and I think what you can do in your settings is you can actually change this and reset it to a different code. So yeah. Well, the Kahoot audio, so again, there's no real way right now to get your audio to play in a Google Meet meeting unless you decide to log in as you from a personal Gmail and kind of use that to that cast tab function and make your personal Gmail your presenter. You can do it that way. It's probably not approved, but it can happen. And then if you don't make that visible, right? So then it kind of disappears off there. So yes. All right. Nope. Don't do that. Do that. Save. So I'm trying to think. Was there other stuff I meant to show you? Was that it? I think that was kind of it. So I'm going to stop presenting here. I'm going to kind of go through the chat a little bit. Let's see. So yes, the Google folder that has my meeting recordings, it automatically showed up when I started recording things. So it did automatically show up as a folder off my main Google Drive. So yes, it might be down there, it might be low, but yes, it should there. Can you still record? So well, when you are recording, so if you record from like this, my FCPS meeting, because your personal Gmail would be the one presenting, it actually would show up here and it should show up in the recording. Haven't tested it because I just noticed this cast tab. So I will go ahead and give it some testing. And if that's different, I'll tell everybody. If it's not there, the recordings folder. That's a good question. I don't know. All mine have automatically showed up there. Did it? But you still got an email. So what you can do is like in your, I think what you can do actually is if you load up a file. So no, don't do that. So I believe when it takes you to an email, you can, oh, that's interesting. So here, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So I believe when you see the email, just a window. Next. So when you click on the link that has your recording, it should show up like this, where it's got your recording in there. If you notice these three dots, you have the option to move it, and you can move your recording to whatever folder that you want. So if you want to move it to something else, if there's like a different folder in your drive you want to move it to, like I want to put it on the Lee website, like you can go ahead and do that and then click move here and it'll do it. So if you're seeing it in your email and when you got your email and it looks like this when you try and open it up, you can use the three dots and move to and then put it wherever you want. So I don't know why it's sending it to you in email. I'll try and see if I can find an answer to that. Let's see. Anything else in the sessions? Let's see. All right. Let's see. How are the students supposed to know how to adjust between the teacher and seeing the screen the teacher? Well, on their end of things, I know. On their end of things, they're gonna see the. They're gonna see the. They're just gonna see your screen, so that shouldn't be too big of an issue. All right. Any other questions? Let's see. Am I going to share recorded session? So I think you can share the video file. Like when they try and click on it, they're going to basically see that preview window show up and they can go and look at it. But then you can also go ahead and like one of the options on that 3 dots is to download it, and you can download it as a local file. It's called an MP4, which is a basic video file. Yes. Can you mute everybody at once? What did you say? I don't believe you can mute everybody at once. I don't think you can. No, I don't think there's a system mute. I don't believe so. Report awful. I know. I know. That's one of the we're sort of. Yeah, I know. That's one of the things that we're kind of dealing with when it comes to this technology. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna go and see if there's anything else. But yeah, I mean, I believe as far as setting up your sessions, like that's really going to be the important part. Is just setting up your Oh, yes, you can put on closed captions. That's right. I totally forgot to talk about that. All right. Yeah, I could show, let's see. Can I? All right. So I'm going to present the whole screen, and it's going to look, you're going to get that little tunnel vision in the middle. Apologize, but that's just how it's going to look. Oh, now you want to turn the TV on and raise the volume to like 50,000. Nice. Okay, so you're going to see that little tunnel vision. I do want you to kind of focus on the bottom here. So when you turn on captions, it actually does automatic captions for all the people there. And it's a live look. Now the captions don't convey in your recordings, I don't think, nor will they show up in the chat. Oddly enough, if you upload this to YouTube, YouTube also has live captions. So they would be enabled there, of course. So in another language, well, I don't believe so. I believe it's just whatever language you're talking in. So it might automatically pick it up. I do not know Espanol at all, so you can try that out. I can say that YouTube closed captionings can close captions in any language, really. So you can always do it that way. All right, yes, they can always enable it themselves. That's true. All right. The other thing I want to point out, people asking, like, where do you start recording? So under the little 3 dots here, that's that. The other thing you'll notice under change layout is if you wanted to make meeting look a little bit differently, you have this option here. Right now, it's just set to auto. Soon, there'll be a grid view, sort of, but it only shows 16 kids. But it's coming. It's not there yet. What was I getting at? Oh, muting. That's right. So up here is the people. So like, if you want to mute somebody, so right now Cindy technically is not muted. You would click this, and then you would click that, and then you go to mute, and then that's how you do it. Now they can't unmute themselves, or they can unmute themselves. You actually can't unmute them. If you wanted to remove them from the class, you would just use that. So that, as they say, is that. All right, I'm going to stop presenting my whole screen. All right. Any other? All right. Any other questions? Well, I know. Nothing's making you happy right now. Can you enroll yourselves in the class as a student? No, but you might. Maybe you can work with your CT and like put each other in as students. Truthfully, what you're seeing now is essentially what the students see. There's not really a lot of difference in what like staff Google Meets are as opposed to student Google Meets. So there's really not too much of a difference, but you can play around with it as like a department. Let's see. Yeah, so you can't kick people out permanently. Just so you know. They don't they can come back. As opposed to Blackboard Collaborate, where if you remove a student in Blackboard Collaborate, they're not. All right. So the problem with the share Chrome tab, and I don't want to get too inside baseball here, but from what I understand from doing some digging about it, is that she was resistant to eating, and now she's like, oh, now I'm gonna eat. She's like me; she can just chug it right down. I believe the casting part, like cast a tab, or even to like cast another window, which was sort of an option in other domains. The problem becomes that you have to turn on sync. So as you guys know, your bookmarks are not synced from like your work computer. And if you logged onto your home computer on with your school Gmail account, essentially, those bookmarks don't cross over one and the other. So you have to follow my other directions on how to import and export your bookmarks. For whatever reason, the county is not turning on sync. I don't know why. Beats me. But I think casting a tab is connected to that sync because it uses a cloud feature. And so the problem with Google and how it works with the county is that you can't just turn it all, on and off for certain features. It's like an all on and all off. So yeah, that's one of the problems there. So in short, a workaround, as I just discovered in this training, so hot, fresh tip, is to use your personal Gmail. And if you're uncomfortable using a personal Gmail, you can set up like what I have, which is a personal school Gmail, right? So I do have one that I use for my day-to-day life, but then I also have like a one that back in the Stone Ages, before Google Docs was really a thing, I have like a professional, quote unquote, Gmail, where if it got spam bombed or whatever. Are you even more hungry? All right. Yeah, there you go. You're tired again. I know. Yeah, someone had their nap interrupted. I know. All right. So I would be like, yeah, just so you know, I know you like verifying Gmails can be a problem, but you can verify, I think, up to 2 personal Gmails on one phone number, just so you know. And if you're going to be sneaky about it, if you set up Google Voice, you can use Google Voice in one personal Gmail and use that to verify other personal Gmails. Hot tip. I'm so sneaky. All right. Any other? Well, I'll be doing Pear Deck. Yes. So, yes, I would love. So here's where I would like to do kind of from here on out. So I'm hoping that there are very fewer hair on fire emergencies countywide. That maybe this third time of distance learning training will be the charm. But I'm going to be focused on SIS training starting after next week because some of the things that you guys can do in fourth quarter or for fourth quarter isn't public yet, isn't on your SIS yet. So it doesn't really do any good to do any training on that. But yes, I would like to take some time from here on out to do more like demos of things and like how to do them in either Google Meet or Blackboard Collaborate. So Pear Deck will be on my list. I'll go ahead and try and piece something new together. And I'll probably run that through Collaborate just because I actually do find that to be a more user-friendly way to present information, but I'll take that under consideration. So yes, it'll come. Good, yes. I imagine Pear Deck would work fine with Google Meet as well. Yes. Hey, I got an idea. Bethany, you still around? Is Bethany still around or Heather?
Yeah, I'm here.
Curious, maybe in social studies. Social studies does such awesome work with you guys do such awesome work with like hyperdocs and the choice boards. Would either of you two be willing to like, I know it's asking a lot, but would either of you two be willing to like put them together on that?
Put something together to present to other teachers?
Yes. Yeah. Like maybe in the coming weeks. Like on like a Monday.
If you give me specific of what you were looking for.
Okay. All right, little buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I could show people how to like create a choice board. There can be a little bit intense. So I mean, I can still demonstrate that. I did that last year for our Throwdown, Smackdown presentation thing, whatever that was. But
Cool. All right, I'll follow up in a separate email. We'll talk about it. Didn't mean to put you on the spot there. It was just one of those, like, I know you guys do such good work with it that maybe even just showing what you have and kind of a little bit how it works would just make nothing too formal, but just like a demo of it would be amazing. All right, so the only reason why I would recommend doing a personal account is because your personal, so if you put yourself in as a personal, there's an additional option when you join a Google Meet with a personal Gmail to share your tab. And the reason why you'd want to do that is because here, I'll actually join I'll show you. Here, I'll go ahead and copy the Meet code, and on my personal one, I'm going to go in. Yes, I left the meeting. All right. No camera, no audio. Turn the mic and the camera off, just so you know. Ask to join. Yes, admit my clown self in here. And so if my clown self here, yes, I know, cool, join now. Yeah, now I can hear myself. Yes, thank you, me. All right, I'm gonna Yeah, I muted myself because I was hearing myself in my other meet. And all right, so anywho, so I'll do a little more testing with this whole like add yourself bit and using that to like if you wanted to play a video or do something that had sound on it. I'll do some playing around with that and see what's up. But that's, I think, really all I got, y'all. I hope you all have an awesome weekend. Enjoy. Try and get outside. Maybe the weather will cooperate. Maybe this one will take a nap. I think that's what she wants. Do you want a nap? You do. Oh, now I've joined it. My thing is clicked back in. Awesome.
Email me some words, some different words. Hey, Strongman, I think you should make Homestar say stupid stuff.
Just so you know,
This is
that's how you get the
hilarious.
audio to work in the tab.
You don't really have
Also,
to
I still
make
love
Homestar say
Homestar
stupid
Runner.
stuff. That's the guy's bread and butter, or at least his cracker and mustard. No, the real challenge is to get home.
All right, so that was the proof of concept that it worked. Well, I don't think my YouTube volume was set super high, so I think that's probably one of the things. My YouTube volume is actually set really low on my screen over here, but yes. Yeah, I know. See. All right. Any other question? Let's see. Quick one. If you want to use it, we have to donate. So yeah. So that was the instructions. Cindy, was you need to personally invite all of your students. So there was an email sent out about like how to do that from me earlier with a document on that. And then also I made class rosters that had everybody's email for your students, so you can kind of easily cut and paste those invitationals. Yeah, we're not doing the kiddos join Blackboard way anymore because that crashed Blackboard and then that crashed Collaborate, and that was bad. But Collaborate itself is actually separate from Blackboard, even though they're made by the same company. So we have found that Collaborate mostly is more stable and reliable than running it through Blackboard. Let's see. Yeah, I think people in Collaborate did okay. I think the biggest issue is finding the invitations in the student Gmails. So I think that was the biggest issue. Again, if you got a student that reaches out and be like, I can't find my invitation, you can always make a personal invitation with that student's name, but email it to you and then forward that email to that student. It's a little extra step, but that student would then at least get that invitation. Yeah, I think the backlog has been done. I know that evening I sent out a few myself and that got cleared out at like 3 in the morning. So, all right. All right. All right, everybody. All right, I'm excited. Do several units with video audio demonstration. Oh, is this to like record? Is that what you're asking, Libby? Like, which would I recommend for recording a session? Oh, to show to students. Oh, I think part of it's really going to be your personal preference, right? Like the Collaborate might offer those tools that you want, like being able to shut off everybody's microphone and everyone's camera that Google Meet doesn't have. Plus, I find honestly it's easier to like upload your PowerPoints and get like anything that you want to present. I do find that to be a little bit easier in Collaborate right now than Google Meet, but you know. Let's see, video, etc. can jam up. What, in Collaborate? I mean, it's possible, but I think it's like if everybody's showing video at the same time. Yeah, I know. I saw that recording too, where he said you're basically running it through like yourself, and that's running it through Collaborate and all that kind of stuff. But personal experience, if you're running it through a small class, I don't, I think it's okay. I think actually when I shared a YouTube video for the all staff meeting and 170 people were in there, the video played pretty well. So yeah, I saw that question, Lynn. I don't know what that means. Like, were they just not in your share tab? Like, or if you try to open up a folder on your computer, they weren't there. I was trying to figure out what that means. I'm actually going to stop the recording. All right. You are all welcome. Oof. My documents were not up. Yeah, I wish I had a good answer for that. That's really weird. I think that's one of those things that we like if we wanted to move to like your Collaborate session and pull me into there and I can look at it as it happens. I can kind of get a better understanding. Like as of now, I know it's frustrating. I just don't like I've never seen it before, and that's not an error I've seen reported amongst like my colleagues in other schools. So I wish I knew. I wish I knew what you were referring to. Yeah. Oof. So So maybe Lynn, if you want to shoot an email with an invitation to your session for Blackboard and a good time, maybe on Monday, outside of the staff meeting, that we can go take a look at it. Maybe that's an answer. So I thought I stopped recording. Didn't I stop recording? Yes, stop recording. Yes, stop recording.